Hello and welcome to Gaming News with Jake. Here you'll find out all the gaming news by me. Probably. So in this Gaming News with Jake, I'm going to be talking about the Nintendo press conference, what they did. As you can tell, I'm very excited for this one. You know, I'm rocking this outfit. I don't care what you say, because they showed some Zelda. They showed Zelda. I'm very happy with. Oh my god, it's so good! I can't. Oh man, oh my god. Like, anyway, let me compose myself. Oh, where to begin? Where to begin? Where to begin? So I guess where to begin is Pokemon Sun and Moon, because they showed that at the start. So let's just get that out of the way with, I guess. So Pokemon Sun and Moon, it's based in Hawaii, and yeah, it's Pokemon. There's not really much of a difference, you know, but it's just Pokemon. But there is nice little changes here and there what I can appreciate. So the first noticeable change is the graphics and the way it plays. I know that X and Y approach the 3D look of things, but there was only certain areas where you could actually explore properly and you know, kind of go into stuff, but the rest of the game really was like this path. You follow the path to your next destination, as of any Pokemon game. But in Pokemon Sun and Moon, it seems to be more like traverse. You can actually explore a bit better now. So for example, you don't have to just stick on this path. You can actually go off the beaten path a bit and explore over this way. There's a bit of long grass, or explore over there because there's a suspicious looking tree or something. And yeah, it's really cool because you can avoid fights now with this new system, meaning that before you always had to cross paths with a Pokemon trainer. Like, there was no way around them unless there was a given path. But if it was just destination A to B and you was just running along, you could not, and like the trainer was kind of sitting here, you could not just go behind them and go past them, sort of thing. You always had to just cross them, and which is really annoying because sometimes your Pokemon just were not ready because they got fucked up by the battle before, and you know that the city is right there, so you don't want to have to like travel all the way back to the Pokemon Center, heal up, and then travel all the way back just to fight this one guy. So it's nice that you can just be like, look, I cannot be asked to fight you when the city is right there. I'm just gonna walk past you, heal up, come back, and then kick your ass. So it is cool. I really like that change. It seems like I know this is a weird combination, but kind of picture it as like how Animal Crossing plays. I know it's a weird combination, but like for some reason the way the movement and the camera angles and stuff, it kind of gave me an Animal Crossing feel. I don't know why, but now some cool tweaks and changes here to the Pokemon battles is you actually have your trainer with you in the Pokemon battles now. Like, you throw out your Pokeball, your Pokemon comes out, and the trainer's sitting right behind you. Like, he's there. He's all like, "Yo, buddy, sup?" And I don't know. It's a cool change. Like, I like that because you can actually get a sense of like how big that Pokemon actually is, like to scale with your actual Pokemon trainer. And obviously there's all different camera angles in the battle. Like, it does all cool super camera angles. And it reminds me of Pokemon Colosseum on the N64. Like, I know that's another weird like thing to compare it to, but like all the battle camera angles really does remind me of Pokemon Colosseum. So yeah, it's just a nice little visual effect on the Pokemon battles now. Another cool change, which I actually really appreciate, is that if you bump into a Pokemon that you have already defeated, you get additional information about that Pokemon, about your moveset, and your moveset will actually say, this move is not effective against this Pokemon, or this move is super effective against this Pokemon, or this move does slightly more than this move against this Pokemon. Which is really goddamn handy. Like, It's about time. Now I can actually see what kind of moves are super effective and not so effective, because don't get me wrong, I do play Pokemon a lot, but like sometimes my memory does go a bit like, with like some of the moves and what are effective against that certain type of Pokemon, so sometimes I do accidentally pick the wrong move and it's not very effective, and I'm like, fuck's sake, god damn it, god damn it. So now, with this additional information after, I'm gonna like put an enthusiasm on that after. So not the first counter, but the second counter after you defeated it. You get additional information saying this move's not effective, this move is super effective. So you know, oh sweet, I can kick his ass with this move now. So yeah, that's a really nice change. And one noticeable change is that this would be very handy for the gotta catch them all guys. Personally, I'm not one of those guys. Yeah, I do catch every Pokemon I find, but I'm not like, get every Pokemon! Because let's be honest, some of the Pokemon in that game are goddamn like near impossible to get, and it's quite an achievement to catch them all, so well done to the people who do actually catch them all. But if you are one of those guys who do catch them all, when you capture a Pokemon, it gets registered, and it comes up on the top of your screen, registered, and by it will actually have like white Pokeball symbols. And that means like how many times this Pokemon can evolve. So, for example, if I capture a Charmander, it will have 2 white Pokeballs up near it, meaning that it's going to evolve 2 times, which of course is Charmander, Charmeleon, and then Charizard. So that's a cool change, knowing that I know how many times this Pokemon is going to evolve, or I know that this Pokemon isn't even going to evolve at all. So you're not constantly wasting your time grinding it, hoping that it's going to evolve again, because you don't know if it is going to evolve or not. So I really appreciate that change, and it does save a lot of time. Especially, I remember grinding a Pokemon and realising that it wasn't going to evolve unless you like traded it, and I was like, I just wasted my time. Now there's a new online multiplayer battle mode on Pokemon Sun and Moon, and it's called Battle Royale, and I'm not too sure what to think of this. I'm a little bit skeptical around it, but it's like a free-for-all battle mode. You get 4 people join, they choose 3 Pokemon to fight, and you just go out, you just choose whoever you want to battle. So for example, player number 1 could attack player number 3, player number 3 could attack player number 1, player 2 could attack player number 3, and it just kind of like, the Pokemon just fight each other. But the thing what I'm not really getting about this is that like 3 guys could literally just pick on one guy, meaning that that one guy is just gonna get absolutely fucked. So I'm not really too sure how that is balanced and fair, but I don't know, we'll have to see, I guess. It seems like a cool idea, so now with Pokemon Sun and Moon out of the way, we can actually get on to what matters. No offense, Pokemon fans, but let's be real. Us Zelda fans have been waiting very goddamn patiently for some new Zelda news, and just actually being shown some stuff about the new Zelda game. So yeah, you have to understand. So the Legend of Zelda Wii U/NX is not called the Legend of Zelda Wii U/NX. It now has an official name. It's called The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Oh my god, I can't. Oh my god, I watched it for hours, because they didn't just show it for like 20 minutes and they were done. They showed it for like 5 hours, and oh, what they were showing. It was magical. Absolutely magical. Just phenomenal. Just a phenomenon. Oh my god. I don't even know where to start. It's just... The first noticeable thing in The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is that your actual companion thing, you always have a companion with you, being Navy the Fairy, Tattle the Fairy, Midna, my waifu, who else is there, the Minish Cat, you know, you always have a companion with you. But in this one, your companion is like a stone Sheikah slab. And what's interesting about this is that it actually has voice acting to your companion. Your companion has a voice actress. It speaks to you. It doesn't just come up in a text. It actually speaks to you. And it kind of put me back a bit, because when I heard it, I was like, what? What? Is someone calling me? What? Because it's so different in the Legend of Zelda game. Because it's completely new. You've never got voice acting in a Legend of Zelda game. So to actually hear a voice in a Legend of Zelda game, it was like, whoa, 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 whoa. But I dig it. It took a while to get used to, but I can really appreciate why they did it. And the reason why is because the Legend of Zelda is a huge, and I mean huge, the world map is fucking massive. Absolutely huge. I remember Anuma said quite a while back that the world size of this game is 4 times bigger than the whole of Twilight Princess. And that doesn't just mean Hyrule. He's talking about the whole game. It's 4 times bigger. And he was not lying. When they opened up that world map, I was just like, yeah, it's goddamn humongous. And yeah, it comes back to the voice acting, because you can just explore this world. Obviously you do have a story, you can go to your story location, but you don't have to. You can just explore. Do whatever you want. Go hunting, cook some food, go fishing, climb some mountains, take over some goblin bases, like... So with the voice acting, it keeps you going. Like, you don't have that annoying little icon going, hey, listen! Hey! Hey, listen! And then you're like, what the fuck do you want? And then you have to stand still, text bubble will come up, and then you carry on. But with this, you keep moving. Your guy, your little companion slab thing will speak to you, be like, hey, I heard that in the world somewhere, something's happening, maybe we should check it out. And you carry on playing, like, you don't stop. She's just giving you this information as you're playing. So you're like climbing this tree, gathering this apple, and she's like, yo, Link, I've just heard some goblins have taken over this part of Hyrule. Let's go take him out. And you carry on playing. It keeps it smooth, keeps it fresh. You don't have to stop. It's really nice. It's now, one very, very big change is that Link, he doesn't really have, like, any bound to items. Before you were always like, this is your item, this is the only item you're gonna use through this game, deal with it. But now, you can just use whatever you want. Like, hell, that's another thing, you have an inventory management now. You open up, you have a big massive inventory management, kind of like Skyrim. And you can remove your clothes, you can take off your clothes if you want, you can run around with just your pants if you want. You can have like a spear, a massive axe, just a little dagger, a bow and arrow, like, so if I wanted to, I could be like, yo, I want to go in my inventory and I just want to take off my hat. There you go, I'm running around hatless now, or like, yeah, I'm done, I want to take off my tunic now, like, let's take it off. There you go, I'm running around in just my t-shirt now. Yo, what's up? Yo, you know what, I'm gonna carry on, and I'm just gonna, like, I'm just gonna run around shirtless. You can do that, and yo, what's up, I'm just gonna take off my pants now. I'm joking, I wouldn't go that far, don't be silly. You wish though. You wish. Just having an inventory is just like so just so new to Zelda. Just, you know, you can just gather anything. Like, you can chop down trees. You can start a fire and cause like some massive, you know, forest fire sort of thing. Like, it's just, it's mental. Like, you actually have stats now. They're not really in depth with the stats. You have attack stats and defense stats. And obviously your attack stat is the weapon you use. And obviously you can upgrade your weapon, you repair your weapon. Your weapons can break as well. So can your like clothes and armor, what you wear. But yeah, obviously your clothes, the clothes you wear have different defense stats. So you take less damage or more damage, but like that armor stat could have like a benefit to it, meaning like, oh, your t-shirt gives you like 20 plus stamina, but at the like disadvantage of, you know, 20 minus 20 health or something. So it's just really cool. It was just like, wow, just wow. Now Link, he can jump, like, I mean properly jump, like you push a button and he jumps. Like, you don't have to run on an edge anymore to like do an automatic jump. You can just jump whenever you want. And having this feature, it changes so much. Like, Link, he has the ability to literally climb anything. I mean anything, like climb up a tree. You just jump on a tree, you start climbing up it. Obviously, your stamina depletes, but you climb up this tree. I see a huge ass mountain. I want to go rock climbing. You know, I'm just going to jump on this mountain, I'm going to start rock climbing. I see this huge ass ruined castle. You know, I'm just going to jump on the ruined castle and start climbing up this ruined castle. Like, being able to do that is, like, I can't even put into words just how great this game is. Like, if you haven't seen The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, like any gameplay on it, all I can say is just watch some, because I know there's going to be a lot of stuff I miss or won't explain properly, because there was just so much to take in. I mean, so much. It was actually overwhelming, but in a really, really positive and good way. Now, one thing which has always been in the Legend of Zelda tradition is that if you cut long grass, smash pots, something will fall out of it, like a rupee or a heart or arrows or an item, you know, whatever. This doesn't happen anymore. Obviously, sometimes you do get an item, but this will be an item as a material. You collect materials now which help you build stuff, cook stuff, and just help you on your quest, which is like crazy to me. So you're probably wondering, wait, how do I get rupees and how do I get hearts then? Well, with cooking involved now, you can actually do cooking. And which is cool, is that you can start a bonfire. And how you start a bonfire, of course, you chop down wood, which of course, you chop down a tree, wood falls off, you get logs. You can go in a cave, there's like flint and coal everywhere. You smack up this rock and flint coal comes out, you collect the flint and coal, you place it down and you strike it with your weapon. And it sparks and it creates a bonfire. And around this bonfire you warm up, you can, you know, cook stuff, just light up a dark place, I guess, if you wanted to. So yeah, it's really cool. And with the cooking, you collect ingredients now. You can actually collect ingredients, so you collect mushrooms, flowers, bugs, and you put it over this bonfire or a cooking stove. Sometimes there can be a cooking stove. Obviously you get better results if you use a cooking stove than a bonfire. So you put these ingredients in this cooking stove and it like blobs up and down, blobs, blob, 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 blobs, and you get a nice little dish out of it, or you could get something really horrible. And this is the only way to replenish health, is cooking and eating the food you cook, which is really goddamn cool in my opinion. Like, it really immerses yourself in this world. Like, you're not just like, oh, I need hearts, I'll just slash a bit of grass, there you go, I'm done, I'm off. Like, you're really like, okay, I need to go hunting then, right? I'm going to hunt some bulls, I'm going to hunt some birds, I'm going to shoot that bird out of the sky, it's going to fall down, it's going to give me some bird wings. That boar over there, I'm going to shoot him, I'm going to get some steak now, and I'm going to combine this bird wing with this steak and make some, like, bird wing steak dish. What gives me, like, 5 hearts or something. So it's really cool because, like, you know, it really does immerse yourself in the world, like I said. Now, another cool thing is that there's an actual, like, sound, like, stealth sort of mechanic to it now. Like, down the bottom of your screen, it tells you how much sound you're making and how loud you're being and stuff. So obviously, if you're in, like, an enemy base and you're running around, it says that, like, you're being really loud, mate. These enemies are going to notice you and come your way. But you can actually go in stealth mode now. You can actually crouch around and, like, you know, pull out your weapon, your bow and arrow, and do stealth attacks. Like, you do critical damage and stuff like that. Like, you can go up to, like, an enemy, and if you go right behind him without him noticing you while you're crouching, it will actually prompt up stealth attack. And Link does this, like, cool badass animation which literally does, like, a one-shot kill on the enemy, and it's just so cool. It's just another cool feature. Now, what's really cool is that there's a temperature bar. You can actually get too hot or too cold, and depending if you're too cold or too hot, you're going to actually start losing health. And that's where the mechanic comes in, where stripping off or getting huge ass clothes on comes in handy. So, for example, if I'm in, like, really cold mountains, a t-shirt is going to do. I'm going to start getting frostbite, I'm going to start taking damage, so I need a big ass woolly jacket. So hopefully in the world somewhere I find a woolly jacket, I can put on this woolly jacket and it's going to warm me up. And of course, starting a bonfire and staying around this bonfire is going to warm you up too. And vice versa, if you're in, like, a desert place. If you're in a desert place, you're going to get really hot, meaning that you're going to have to strip off out your clothes and try and cool down. Getting in water's going to cool you down. It's just like, it's just so cool. Just little things like that just make the game so much more interesting and bigger. Now, with rupees, how you make rupees is you actually sell your stuff now to merchants. They didn't actually show this in the E3 playable demo, just because they didn't want to, because they thought that it was going to ruin too much of the story, because, like, certain characters and the characters talking about stuff. So they didn't actually show this, but they did say that you will be able to sell your materials, your cooked food, your weapons you don't need, to merchants to get rupees, which is, you know, really cool. Now, I'm not too sure how the story goes, because, like I just said, they gave no information about the story whatsoever. So they only showed, like, a couple NPCs. Like, they strictly said that the world may seem a bit bland and dull right now, but when the full game's out, you're going to actually see, like, people wandering about in this world who are going to give you, like, side quests and stuff. Meaning that, like, so a side quest could be like, yo, there's, like, a enemy base back there, can you, like, take care of them or something, like, you know, stuff like that. Or, yo, I need some mushrooms, can you collect a certain amount of mushrooms for me and bring them back for me, like, stuff like that. And obviously it's not just going to be that. He does say that there is going to be very, very interesting side quests which he hopes that people will actually dive into and get stuck into. Now, what's cool about the open world is that, like, there's unique enemies. Sometimes you'll be running along and then suddenly this huge ass gravel monster just comes out of the floor, and next thing you know, you're fighting this, like, mini boss. Like, health bar comes up, music starts playing, and it's just cool because, like, it can be a moment of, shit, I'm not prepared for you, like, my armor stats and my weapon is not gonna kill you, I'm out of here. Or you could be totally geared up, you could be like, look, I'm gonna kick your ass now, so bring it, bruh. Now, one thing they did explain slightly about the story is that these little shrine temple places, you put your stone slab thing on it, it opens up and you go in and you have to do like a mini puzzle, which like powers up your slab. You get more powers to it, like raise certain bits of the earth, make bombs out of your slab. Like you get cool stuff like that. Oh, and like fast travel. Like you pretty much get different abilities for your slab, which will then come in handy for the main story. So that is pretty much all we know about the story, is that these like little shrine things to power up your slab is going to help you throughout the story and make you progress in the story. But other than that, that's pretty much all we know. Oh, and I think Ganon is back. There was a couple of NPCs like near the start of the game, because obviously it was the start of the game, and I do believe that one of the NPCs did mention Ganondorf. So but if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure Enuma said that Ganondorf wasn't actually going to be the main threat of the game. So he hopes to surprise people with the other threat, but this was quite a while back, so I don't know if he's changed this to actually make it like, yeah, Ganondorf is now the main guy you're going to be. But who knows, Ganondorf could just be like the side villain now, with some like big badass guy. Like, we don't know, but I do believe Ganondorf is part of this Legend of Zelda, which puts us in another debate. Where is this Legend of Zelda in the timeline? Now, oh man, I've heard so many things about this. I've heard that it could be based back in like the NES games, like the first Legend of Zelda games, because there is actually a location what's actually based back in the NES games. There's a lot of debate that it could be based after Twilight Princess, because a lot of the stuff in the game is actually quite futuristic. Like, it's actually quite technology based. Like, your stone slab has a lot of technology on it. The shrines, they kind of look a bit futuristic in technology, meaning that Twilight Princess kind of did have that sort of feel to it. So, but then there's also debates that it could be based sort of around the Wind Waker time era, because there's a lot of the enemies seem familiar. There's a lot of kind of clues and locations which could indicate to the Wind Waker, but no one really knows. And then obviously there's a debate that it could just be a reboot. Like, he could have just completely abandoned the timeline and just wanted to do a Zelda game, like, for what he wanted to do without following this specific timeline. So we don't know. We'll have to wait until we hear word from the official man himself, I guess. Now, Link can do some sort of like bullet time. I think it's called like Fury mode. I don't know, I'm not really too sure how it's activated. I didn't really catch on to that. They did it quite a lot of times, but I still was like, wait, how did they do that? So I'm not sure if it's like, if a certain, like, if you do a really good combo on an enemy, you get this Fury mode, which pretty much Fury mode is the slow motion. Like, you smash them up in the air, everything goes all slow motion, and you just go absolutely mental. You go absolutely ham on them, and then time speeds up again. And then that enemy's just gonna like take all the damage you just did on him and just pretty much die, which is actually really cool. It's like bullet time out of Max Payne, so it's really cool. Now, one thing, when it happened, I was like, oh, cool! There's body physics. There's actual body physics now. There's not just animations like damage animation, you know, when if Link took a really heavy damage, he would like fall off his feet and then kind of just get up again. But now there's actual body physics, so if Link got smacked like right on the side here, he would be like and go all like ragdoll and just like flop everywhere. And that's the same with the enemies. If you got a huge ass axe and just like smashed the goblin or something, the goblin would just go all ragdoll and just fly, which is really cool. It's really interesting because you may think, oh, it's just body physics, like, ugh. But it actually puts a spin on things, because during the demo, there was a part in the demo where he was actually standing by a cliff, and some moblin come along and actually got like the surprise on him and completely smacked him. And yeah, it only took like half a heart off, but because he went ragdoll off this cliff, Link was ragdolling off this cliff and rolling, he's rolling all over the place, smashes his head on the cliff, and his hearts were actually depleting. And luckily he hit the floor, and he had like one quarter of a heart left, and he was like, oh my god, that just happened. But like, and even he said like, but that's the power of the body physics. Like, body physics can actually change up combat like that. So, for example, you could do the same. You could smack off a legendary sort of enemy who has high health, do like a powerful attack. He's gonna physics off this mountain, and he's gonna gradually take health off this mountain. So body physics was actually a really cool change, and yeah, I really appreciate it. Like, it was just weird seeing Link like go all ragdoll and flop. So yeah. But oh man, I'm sure that there's probably so much more I could talk about this game, but like, I just can't. Like, I don't. There probably is a lot more I could talk about, and probably what I have talked about probably doesn't make any sense, or I've probably explained it shit. So all I can do and suggest is just watch it yourself, and like, I'm not just saying that, like, I really do suggest watching it yourself to see what I'm talking about, because there was so much to take in. And I'm not just saying that, there was literally so much. As a Legend of Zelda fan, it's like a completely different Legend of Zelda experience. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I was like, what? Like, is this Legend of Zelda? Like, what? What's going on? And it was so hard to take everything in, so I'm sure I've probably missed a lot of stuff. I've probably forgotten to mention some stuff, which afterwards I'll probably be like, oh shit, I forgot to mention that. But like, all I can suggest is just watch it yourself, and you will see what I mean by that. It just looks phenomenal, like, for real. Like, I am just so glad of how this game is looking and turning out to be, because, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I was very worried. Nintendo taking the open world approach, you know, they've never done anything like that, so I was very skeptical and worried about how this Legend of Zelda is going to turn out to be, but after seeing that, all my worries have just gone. Like, I've never been this excited for a game before. Like, I think this is probably the most excited and happy I have been about a game in a long time. So, well fucking done, Nintendo. Like, seriously, if I could give the Zelda team a hug, or just some sort of message, like, seriously guys, well goddamn done. Like, I cannot express how grateful and happy I am about how this game is looking and turning out to be, and I cannot wait until 2017. But I think that is all the Nintendo news I wanted to get over. So yeah. So guys, I will see you in the next gaming news with Jake. So, see you later.